Hi everybody, this is a slightly different video to something I would normally put on our channel, but I felt like I should try and do something because I am in no way a professional when it comes to using a sewing machine. I went on a sewing course about 3 years ago as a New Year's resolution, and Jake bought me a 2-day course in Kennington. So I am just putting it out there now as a disclaimer that I am not in any way, shape or form a professional seamstress in the slightest, complete novice, but I can assure you if I can do this, anybody can. So as a lot of you follow me on Facebook, you will see that I have been making the bags for the NHS, the wash bags for the NHS, and I thought that I've looked on YouTube and seen a couple of videos, but none that have been easy to follow for me. So I thought there's probably a lot of people out there that are like me and just want something easy to follow, so here you go. So as I've been furloughed from work, I thought I can't just sit here and do nothing. Homeschooling Matilda is one thing, but I just want to be able to help in any way I can. So I've decided to make these bags. I went on to a Facebook page called UK Crafters Oxfordshire and Central Hub, and there is loads of lovely people that are pledging to make these bags for the NHS. So I pledged to make 28 bags. 8 of them have been done and they've been sent out. Some of them to paramedics that are based at the JR. A nurse has got some from the Stoke Mandeville, and a local hospital in Wantage has got some as well. So I'm feeling quite proud of myself. So you're going to need to know the dimensions. We are working to 30 inches by 20 inches. The one that I've cut out, and this just shows how much of a novice I am, I've actually measured, and it's 36 by, 36 by 26. So it's 6 inches bigger than it should be, but hey ho, bigger the better, I think. It does need to be sort of 100% cotton or polycotton because you're going to put it on a really hot wash. You're going to need those people that are putting their uniforms into these cases or bags, whatever you want to call it. You're going to need them to be able to withstand a really high heat. So I've put all of mine on a 90-degree wash. But I think you can go down as low as 60, but I've done mine as a precaution at 90 degrees. The work that I'm about to show you is material from donations. So I've had a lovely lady that was also part of this Facebook group that is going back to work and has had loads of duvet covers donated to her. So I've picked them up and I've cut them out. I will insert a picture just to show you how I have cut everything out. So we will insert that picture now. So as you saw from the picture, I literally got the pillow, put it over the duvet and cut around it, probably left an inch around it, just in case, but you don't really need to worry. Like if you look at this piece of fabric that I've cut out, it is 6 inches bigger than it should be, so it really doesn't matter. Okay, so just looking at the fabric that I've cut out, had to be Disney because it's my favourite thing. What you will see, because it is a duvet cover, when you cut it, it's actually opened on each side, so you are going to have to hem this and you are going to have to sew it up, but it's dead easy. If I can do it, anybody can do it. So once you've cut your fabric, you are going to need to cut some more fabric out to use for your drawstring. I've cut mine probably about 4 or 5 inches wide. And what I have done is I've cut it along the bottom of the duvet, so you're going to get double the amount, because obviously when you put it around inside, you're going to need it quite big to get all the way around and have some give in it to pull it through. So now what you're going to do is you are going to either, if you've got pins, pin this down or iron it down just so you can use it on the sewing machine. I just tend to get my pins and literally just fold it in half. That's all you need to do, is just fold it in half. Let me show you on here. Fold it in half, grab your pins and pin it into place. Now, you might be able to leave a comment to say that I'm putting in my pins wrong, and there's probably an etiquette to putting pins in. I do remember on the course they said something about pins, but I think for this, as long as it's secure, it's absolutely fine. What you need to remember is this is going in the washing machine. This isn't somebody's designer handbag. It's designed for a purpose. So you just pin all the way along. And actually, now I've done a few of these, I don't actually pin it because it's quite easy just to fold it in half. And the last pin, just to secure it before it goes onto the machine. And there you have it. So now that it's all pinned into place, you are going to place it on your sewing machine and sew it. Just remember that you do need to sort of leave a little bit of a gap when you start so you don't fall off the edge of the sewing doesn't fall off the edge. And then you are going to go forwards with your sewing machine and then backwards just to secure the stitch. And remember, this does not have to be a work of art. We're not looking at your straight lines, we're not looking at you like, oh, you've left your pin in, or well, no one is here anyway. And you just do this all the way along. And just remember that when you're going over the seam, that you just go over it slightly slower because of your needle. You don't want it to snap. So when you get close to it, just slow the needle right down and literally just let it go over the top. Just remember that when you're coming to the end, do not go over the edge because you'll be sewing onto nothing, and you want to be able to go backwards so you can secure the stitch. And then forwards one more time, and then that bit is done. Voila! You have a drawstring. So that's that bit done. So the next step is to turn your fabric inside out. Because this is an old duvet cover, if it was a pillowcase, you just turn it inside out. This is an old duvet cover, so I'm literally going to turn it inside out, and I have got one of the edges, so I will just unfold that, put the edges together, place it back down, making sure that the edges meet. And then all I'm going to do now on the sewing machine is sew up the sides, keeping the top part for the next step. Okay, so you're just going to make sure that the edges meet, and then all you're going to do is you're going to give yourself about 1.5 inches, and you're going to fold it back on itself, and then you are going to either iron this down and pin it, or just iron it, or just pin it. I have got to the stage now where I've been making them that I don't need to actually pin it, but I will do it just to demonstrate. So you just put your pins in all the way along. This does not need to be neat. I keep saying it, but it's true, and you'll see why in a minute. So now that's pinned, we will go over to the sewing machine and sew the sides. Again, you're just going to put the fabric down onto your sewing machine. You're going to sew maybe an inch and then go back on it again just to secure it. So that's one side sealed up. Now with your pins the other side, you're just going to seal the other side up. Okay, so now that you've sewn up the sides, you have now got to secure the top. You are going to fold the duvet cover back on itself at the opening, probably about 4 inches, and this is going to be where you're going to secure the strap. So you just need to make sure that you've got enough room to feed this all the way through. So about 4 inches is plenty. And then you're just going to secure it down with some pins. Now I just put my pins across the top because all I'm doing is securing. Because when I sew, I want to have as much room from the top to the bottom so that I can really feed that through without it being tight, because what I've actually done before is started to sew along the top here and realised that this wouldn't fit. So it's all trial and error. So I'm going to sew all the way along the bottom part. So you're just going to put a couple more pins in and then do the same on the back. So this side is folded over 4 inches. And I'm just going to secure it at the back here with a couple of pins. Try not to stab myself. And there you can start to see that it's coming together. So for this next part, you're going to take apart the bottom of your sewing machine where you would put your bobbin, this part, and just pop it to one side, because you are going to use your sewing machine. You're going to anchor the fabric onto here. So you're just going to take your fabric and you are going to feed it one either side of the gap. You are going to find the hem. I hope this makes sense. And you are going to start to sew along this first part, and you're going to sew, as like I said before, as close to this edge, so you're leaving quite a lot of fabric on the end so that you can feed through the cord. And again, you're just going to go a couple of inches away from there, because you need something, you need a bit of a gap just to feed that through at the bottom here. So again, just secure it by going a couple forward and then a couple back. And then you're just going to sew all the way around. And then as you coming back round to your starting point, you're going to stay the other side of the hem, and you're going to go and you're going to sew, continue to sew all the way along until you get to about 2 inches before the end of that seam so that you can actually meet it at the other side and pull the drawstring through. So there you go, I've left quite a bit of a gap there. I'm just going to go back on myself just to secure the stitch, and that's done. Okay, so now we've got a near enough finished product. So you've sewn along the sides, you've created a hem all the way along, so it's nice and neat. Now you're going to turn it back the right way, and then you will see that you don't really have to be dead straight with it all, because when you turn it back the right way, it looks really neat. So this is what it looks like, and I don't think that's a bad job, and I think anybody would like this bag. Okay, so for the final step is actually to thread your tassel. I think I've called it everything on this video. Put this tassel through to secure it. Get a safety pin, pop it through. This will work like magic when you start threading it. So all you're going to do is you're going to find the gap that you left when you were sewing earlier. You're going to get your cord and you're just literally going to start threading it through. And then all you're going to do is you are going to find the end of your cord, and then you should have loads the other end, and you're just going to start pulling it all through so that they are equal on each side. You'll have fun with this bit. And as you can see, you just literally match up the ends, tie a knot in the top, make sure it's nice and tight, do two if you want, just to secure it. Take out your safety pin, and you now have a fully sewn, complete bag, drawstring bag. Ta-da! So now that you've got your finished product, it is entirely up to you, but what I like to do is take my edging scissors and I just like to clean up the straps slightly, just because there's lots of threads on them, and I just go along and just make them look a bit neater, which it's entirely up to you, you don't have to, but there we have it. So it's just about having the confidence really to do this. If you've never used, or if you are an amateur like me that knows how to thread a sewing machine, you can honestly do this. Just follow the steps, and if you've got any questions, put them in the comments below and I'll see if I can help you out. And all that's left to say is stay in, stay safe, and thank you to everybody that is helping in this horrendous time and nightmare that we're having. Goodbye.